In the end, concerned about the proliferation of synthetic pesticides after World War II, less deeply troubled. She began a meticulous, 4-year investigation into the effects enduring. Silent Spring is more than just a book about pesticides. It is a foundation we are still grappling with the elixirs of death she warned us about. Her writing style itself was a form of activism. She refused to accept that scientific writing had to be sterile and inaccessible. She believed in the power of storytelling to convey scientific truth. This democratic approach to knowledge was revolutionary. She empowered ordinary citizens to question authority and demand accountability. Her work is a cornerstone of environmental justice. Of countless others. Her critique of the control of nature philosophy was prescient. She saw that this arrogant desire to dominate the natural world would inevitably backfire. The rise of antibiotic-resistant superbugs is a modern parallel to the pesticide resistance she described. Nature, she understood, is always dynamic and adaptive. Attempting to impose a static, chemical control on a dynamic system is a recipe for failure. Her call for integrated pest management, using a variety of techniques, was decades ahead of its time. She was not anti-science. She was pro-wisdom. She championed a science that was ethical, holistic, and humble. Controversy she endured took a heavy personal toll. Yet, she never wavered in her commitment to the truth. Her publisher, Houghton Mifflin, showed immense courage in standing by her. They resisted intense pressure to suppress the book. The serialization of Silent Spring in the New Yorker magazine was crucial to its initial impact. It brought her arguments to a wide and influential audience before the book was even released. This strategy helped build a groundswell of support that was ready for the chemical industry's backlash. Carson's meticulous research was her greatest shield. Every claim in Silent Spring was backed by dozens of scientific sources. This made it impossible for her critics to dismiss her work as mere emotionalism. She was a master communicator, translating complex science into understandable, compelling prose. Her use of metaphor and vivid imagery was particularly effective. She made the invisible threat of chemical pollution visible to the public eye. The title, Silent Spring itself, is a masterstroke of communication. It is a phrase that is both poetic and terrifying. It encapsulates the book's entire argument in two powerful words. Rachel Carson's legacy is taught in schools and universities around the world. She is remembered as a scientist, a writer, and a courageous advocate for the planet. Her life reminds us that one person, armed with knowledge and passion, can make a world of difference. She was a reluctant revolutionary, forced into the spotlight by her conscience. Her primary desire was to be a writer and a naturalist, exploring the wonders of the sea. But she could not stand by silently while the world she loved was being poisoned. This moral courage is the defining characteristic of her life. The environmental movement owes her an incalculable debt. She provided the scientific credibility and the public voice that it desperately needed. Before Silent Spring, conservation was largely focused on preserving wilderness and specific species. Carson expanded the scope of environmental concern to include the invisible threats in our own backyards. She showed that the environment is not out there, but all around us. This shift in perspective was fundamental to the rise of modern environmentalism. Her work remains a beacon of hope